Hello, everyone, and welcome to HiPoint Financial's podcast. Last time we learned about RDSP, and today we will be talking about RRSP. We have our certified financial planner, compliance officer, chief development officer, who is certified financial planner and has authorized 4 books. He has immense knowledge and over 3 decades experience in financial industry. So let's learn from the best. Welcome, Philip, to HiPoint Financial's podcast.
Well, thank you very much. As you know, we have an upcoming RRSP workshop. It's going to be on January 24th. You know, Rita, I've been holding these workshops for about the last 35 years.
Wow.
And one of the reasons why I love holding them, it keeps me up to date. There's always new rules and things changing. It really keeps me sharp as an edge. The other thing that you probably want to know is what you're going to learn. Well, here's a few topics we're going to be going over. One of the questions a lot of people are asking these days are, with the political climate out there today, are my RRSPs secure? Other questions we're getting quite a bit are about fees and MERs. How does that all affect my RRSP growth? But one of the areas we're really going to dive into are RRSP tax reduction strategies.
Right. Yes, since we are talking about RRSPs, this session seems to be very engaging, very informative. Now, around RRSPs, people have so many opinions. Now, when we talk about RRSP withdrawals, what is the worst case you have seen so far in your 35 years of career?
You know, that's an interesting question, Rita. I've seen all kinds of highs, all kinds of lows. You know, a number of years ago, as you know, I do these workshops on a regular basis. And we usually hold them in January, February. I got a call in April from somebody who attended my workshop.
Okay.
So much in tears, crying over the phone, I can barely understand her. So I set up a meeting. And that was with Lucy. And Lucy is out in Mississauga. And I sat down with her. And when we sat down with her, her father was there. And she said, you know, we've lost a lot of money. Is there anything you can do to help us out? I said, well, what do you mean you lost a lot of money? Well, my father turned 71 last year. He went into the bank and he told them he had to cash in his RRSPs. So he cashed in his RRSPs and they put all the money in his bank account. Now he has over a $200,000 tax liability that he has to pay because he was unsure and nobody gave him direction on how he had to properly withdraw his RRSPs. This is why Canadians need to seek out advice to make sure that they're properly withdrawing their RRSPs.
Yeah, well, agreed on that, because many RRSPs are just the accounts are open and funded. There are no strategies behind it. Well, now, since you shared this scenario, I would like to ask, what are the strategies that you use to help those clients?
Well, when it comes to strategies, and we are going to talk specifically about the tax reduction strategy, but strategies is all individual, and people need to be comfortable with their overall RRSP portfolio. But one of the big strategies that we do incorporate is the RRSP withdrawal strategy, because we're finding more and more Canadians have way too much money in their RRSPs, and what ends up happening is they're withdrawing money at our higher tax bracket. So I don't want to dive too much into it, but we do use RRSP leveraging on a way to reduce our RRSP taxes.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good actually. Now, just one last question.
Sure.
That I understand RRSPs are great tools for estate planning. So how have you helped your clients in strategizing RRSPs in order to do better estate planning?
Well, when it comes to estate planning and RRSPs, it goes over a wide variety of things, but specifically about RRSPs in your estate. I'll talk, about Omar and Helga. They incorporated one of our RRSP strategies. What they did was they borrowed money to invest, which reduced their RRSPs, but they fully insured it. And it didn't cost them a lot of money. And what ended up happening is Helga passed away. And Omar, all of a sudden, he ended up with a $200,000, I think it was $230,000 life insurance payout that he didn't have to worry about cashing this in or cashing that in. he had the time to properly grieve and his estate was properly set up.
Yeah, I believe that's a great strategy, and there are many more strategies that we can help Canadians learn about, how to strategize their RRSPs. That was very informative session, Philip. Thank you so much. Any final comments for our clients?
Well, yes, thank you, Rita. January 24th is going to be full of information. Reserve your seat early. We already know that seats are limited. People are already booking their seats. Book and reserve early, January 24th.